Over the next few days, we're going to feature a series of films with my great friend Terry Lawton, set on Norfolk's River Wensum. Firstly, we talk about Terry's new book, Fly Fishing in Rivers and Streams, just published by New Holland. Terry, it's the first time I've actually seen this book. I obviously read the manuscript and was really impressed with the manuscript, and I think it looks absolutely lovely. Are you pleased with it?
Well, it's very kind of you to say so, John, and yes, I am. Like any book, there's been a lot of hard work that's gone into it, and it's nice to see the finished book.
Yeah, books don't just write themselves, do they? People seem to think, yes, they can be quite a labour of love. What was your purpose in writing it, Terry? Did you have a sort of like a real objective when you set out?
Yes, my main objective was to try and take people from being sort of just fish catchers to fly fishermen and fly fisher women, and as I say, to try and get them to think about how they fish and why they fish in the way that they do, and to sort of stop and analyse problems if they're not catching fish as often as they should. And I mean, hell, we all know there are lots of occasions when it can be jolly difficult, but as I say, I'd like to feel that people can read that book and think, oh yes, perhaps that's what I've been doing wrong, or maybe this is a new approach that I should try.
So it's really, isn't it, it's taking fly fishing to an intellectual level, if you like, that a lot of people probably haven't even thought of before, in a way.
Yes, I think a lot of people do tend to be a bit mechanical about it.
That's beautifully put. Yeah.
I've got friends who will break their rod down at the end of the day and leave the fly on the end of the leader, stick it in the back of the car. Next time you go fishing, they'll get the rod out, put it back together, and they've got the same fly.
I am that friend. I think that's what impressed me when I read the manuscript before actually seeing the book, that it sort of like lifts the veil in many ways, and
I hope so, yes.
And it seems to me that this particular river. We're standing, aren't we, on the River Wensum, and this has obviously been a real laboratory for you, hasn't it, or a schoolroom? You love this bit of river, don't you?
Indeed. Yes, I mean, as well as fishing it, I spend an awful lot of time in it, cutting weed in the summer and doing restoration work and helping build riffles and narrow banks and things like that. So I put a lot of time and effort and energy into the river.
I think you've touched on something which I guess the general public doesn't realise, and that is the fact that a caring fly fisherman like yourself is a true guardian of the stream. Isn't that correct? You are helping to create the sort of environment that we all love to be a part of.
Absolutely. Yes, and if it wasn't for fishermen, half the rivers wouldn't be as well looked after as they are today.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm a member of the RSPB, and when I came down here earlier, there was a guy down here from that organisation doing a bird count, and a lot of the things that he was watching and ticking off, I thought they wouldn't be here but for the work that you're doing on the river.
Yes.
I mean, there's a profusion of wagtails, for example,
and
they depend totally on the fly life that you're helping to produce.
Yes, fly life has been a bit restricted so far this season, I think probably because of the ghastly cold east winds we've had for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Even though I did see some mayfly hatching at the end of last month, which is very early. I mean, normally wouldn't expect to see them till perhaps about the 12th of May, but as I say, there are 1 or 2 about, and whether we'll see any later on today remains to be seen.
People around the world don't realise what a curse the northeasterly wind is for Norfolk. You dread that weather forecast, don't you? And it's like winds from the northeast, and you just think, oh no.
But I don't know, poor old Skews and Halford, they struggled on the Hampshire chalk streams with northerly winds and so on. Of course, they're blowing straight downstream and made their life pretty hellish at times.
As I say, I read the manuscript, which was great, but I do think New Holland publishers have done a great job with the production, and some of the photographs are beautiful. I mean, you look at these spreads and they are just so eye-catching. It must be very satisfying, knowing the amount of effort you've put in, and then you actually get the finished product, and you must think,
Indeed,
oh wow,
yes.
I like that. Yeah,
yeah, and yes, I mean it's nice to be able to include so many photographs in the book. They're sort of generous in that respect.
Visuals do draw you in. There's no doubt.
Oh yes, and I mean fishing is so visual as well.
It is.
Not only
It is.
Photographs of wonderful fish, but also the fantastic scenery around the world.
Terry, we haven't mentioned one big feather in your cap, and that's that there's a paperback American edition coming out.
Indeed, yes.
I'm really delighted about that for you, because of course that's where the money is, isn't it, in America?
Let's hope so.
Yeah,
yes.
we can teach the Americans how to fish. Anyway, so it's Fly Fishing in Rivers and Streams, Terry Lawton, New Holland Publishers. £16.99. We're speaking in early May, and it's just about to hit the bookshops,
Absolutely.
I believe, isn't it?
Indeed, yes.
Oh, Terry,
yes.
very best of luck with it, because it really, really does deserve to do well. So let's get
Thank
fishing.
you very much, John. Yes, let's go and see what we can catch.